Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is launching on October 25th, but the exact time you'll be able to play is a bit more complicated than that. In this video, I'll show you how you can play as early as possible, potentially up to nearly an entire day early on October 24th. As a quick disclaimer, I have no idea whether any of the things in this can get you banned. I've been doing this for years now with Call of Duty and it's always been fine. I'm pretty sure Activision knows about it and they've never said that they have a problem with it. It's something that Xbox and PlayStation enforce, all the weird regional timings, not something that Activision does, so I don't think they care. If anyone from Activision or Xbox reaches out to me and says, no, this isn't okay, we will be banning people who do this, I'll make sure I pin a comment under this video. So before you copy anything I do in this video, make sure that you check those pinned comments to make sure I haven't said it's not okay. Anyway, let's get on with it. So, Call of Duty is going to launch at a global time on Battle.net and Steam. There's nothing you can do if you're playing on those platforms. It will be launching at 9 PM PT on October 24th, which is 5 AM UK time BST on October 25th. And there's nothing you can do to change that. Using a VPN or anything won't matter. That's just when those platforms unlock. However, PlayStation, Xbox, and the Game Pass version on PC, so the Xbox Store version on PC, are going to have regional timings. That means they will launch at midnight in your region. This means if you can trick the platform and Call of Duty into thinking that you're in, say, New Zealand, which will be the first time zone to unlock, then you can play as soon as it's midnight in that country rather than in your own region. So that means in the UK, we can actually play at 12 noon on October 24th, so that's a whole 12 hours early. If you're in the US, it's even earlier than that. If you're in Europe, then obviously it's a little bit less. So whichever platform you're on, the first thing you have to do is to change your region on the Call of Duty website for your profile. You have to go to callofduty.com and make sure you're logged in. Then if you click on your Activision ID and you go to basic info, just wait for that to load, you'll see there's a bunch of information here, which I have obviously blocked out because that would be a terrible thing to show you. But what you want to do is change your address in this section, press edit, and then you need to put an address in New Zealand. So you need to put something in your address line, city, and location somewhere in New Zealand. I always just pick like a McDonald's in New Zealand, something like that. So just pick somewhere in New Zealand that you can use an address for, preferably, you know, not someone's house or anything like that, and then make sure you press save. Now, I personally would do this sooner rather than later. I wouldn't like wait until the day of, because obviously then the website might be messing around. Sometimes there's some verification issues and things like that. I would get this done early. But once you've done that, once you've saved it and it says you're in New Zealand, from Call of Duty side, you're good to go. Now I'll show you how to change it on Xbox. So on the Xbox, what you want to do really easy is go up to settings and then let your settings load, go down to system, then across to language and location, and then change your location to New Zealand. So it's just a drop down menu there. You can put your language region on English New Zealand. I'm not sure if that actually matters. Then you just need to restart your Xbox. And then once it's restarted, if you just want to confirm that it's working, go to store, and then if you just look at the price of something, like it's a film there, that says New Zealand dollars, $24.99. So now you know your Xbox is set to New Zealand. So now, if your Xbox and your Call of Duty account are both set to New Zealand, you should be able to play Black Ops 6 on October 24th at 12 noon, so at lunchtime basically. Now, if you're on PlayStation, this is a lot more complicated, and sadly, you probably already can't do it. The way PlayStation works is your account and the game you've purchased both have to be from the region. So that means you would need to have a New Zealand account to have your account registered in New Zealand, and I'm not sure if you can change them while you've got an account normally. Maybe you can. Someone in the comments can probably let me know whether you can change it. But you also need to have purchased a game on the New Zealand PlayStation Store. So if you've already pre-ordered a game, that won't work. I know some people have a separate New Zealand PlayStation account and then they buy the games on there that they want to play early. And then obviously because it's your kind of home PlayStation, other accounts on that same PlayStation can play the game. It's a bit of a pain because it means you don't own the game on your main account. But that's the only way to do it on PlayStation. If you do have the game purchased on a New Zealand account from the New Zealand PlayStation Store, then as long as you've changed it on Call of Duty, you should be good to go as well. If not, if you've bought it on the UK store or the US store, one of the other ones, sadly you'll have to wait for that region to unlock. If you are on PC and you're on the Xbox app, so you're playing it on the Game Pass version on PC, it's a bit of an unknown at the moment, just because no Call of Duty game has launched on this app before. We don't really know exactly how it's going to work. Obviously, you're going to have to change it on your Call of Duty account, like I showed you earlier, but then you need to trick the Xbox app into thinking you're in New Zealand. Whether that will mean changing your Microsoft account to say that you're in New Zealand and maybe using a VPN to connect to a New Zealand server, I've got absolutely no idea. Hopefully not, because if you're using a VPN, obviously it will cause other problems when you're actually playing the game. But I don't really know how it's going to work at this moment. If anyone does find a way and it does work, at least then we'll know for next year, and then I can update you all. But that's it. So if you're on Xbox, it's pretty simple in order to be able to play Black Ops 6 early, which is really good news because it's on Game Pass on Xbox, so you should be able to play it on there if you've got an Xbox and have an absolute blast. As a couple of other heads up, if you are playing the game early, so you're going live at lunchtime, 12 noon in the UK on October 24th, do bear in mind matchmaking times in multiplayer will take a lot longer because there won't be that many people playing it yet worldwide. And if there's people in New Zealand playing it, you're going to be not matched up with them because the ping will be too high. So it's pretty normal to have a hard time finding games for the first few hours. Good time to play zombies, exploring that. You can obviously play with your friends, play private games and play campaign. It should all work. I'll of course be streaming as soon as it goes live. So make sure you subscribe, turn your notifications on, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.